So the main event of UFC 316 was just announced as Sean O'Malley or Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley 2, the rematch. And this is pretty interesting because the first fight was relatively dominant. Body language has a lot to do with how people view that fight, but also because O'Malley didn't have a lot of title defenses. He had one against Vera, which wasn't deserved. And O'Malley hasn't fought since. As to why they're doing this rematch, they want O'Malley to have the belt back. Pretty plain and simple. But also, Petr Yan is on a 2-fight win streak and has looked excellent. He's much more deserving of the title shot. But I think they do need a bit of star power on that June card. So they gave O'Malley the shot. I assume Petr Yan would be fighting Umar Nurmagomedov in July on that Saudi card that just got announced. But why not do O'Malley versus Sandhagen in the meantime while people are waiting? Merab doesn't need to come back in June. I get it that they needed a main event for the Newark card. But Merab, he fought in January. He doesn't need to immediately fight in June. Should have had O'Malley versus Sandhagen in May on that Iowa card, and then had Merab turn around July or even August, which is still a pretty reasonable break in between fights. But the matchup, regardless of whether or not it's deserved, it is pretty interesting. If you go back and look at the first fight, there's a lot of things that O'Malley did well on the feet and even defending the takedowns here and there, especially in the third and fifth round. Obviously found the opening with those long body teeps. But I think it's also important to address that O'Malley did go into that fight with a pretty significant hip injury. And it's not like one of those fights where it's like, oh, it's okay, you can just pull out the fight. No, that was a massive fight for O'Malley. There was no way he was going to pull out of that fight, even if he was injured. And that was a hip injury. Imagine trying to defend constant takedowns and even just be in the training room with that kind of injury. It's very, very difficult. And again, O'Malley, it's his fault. He did still go on with the fight, but I think it's very important to keep that in mind. And I think to give O'Malley much more time to find those openings on Merab, I think that will be very useful for him, and I think he will have a lot more success in this fight. I have to lean Merab just because of the result of the first fight. Just because. But there's a little thought in the back of my head that's telling me O'Malley's going to find the shot, and there's a very, very high likelihood of O'Malley finding that shot, either with the knee up the middle, or the long left hook, or even the body teeps and slowly breaking down Merab as he goes. And it also has to be mentioned, Merab goes into every fight ridiculously injured. Injured his back, injured his leg. In the Umar fight, he went in with, he said he broke his back, and then everyone saw the photo of his leg. He went into the O'Malley fight with, staph infection and a massive gash on his head. And I feel like going into every single fight that ridiculously injured might catch up to you. Just might. And I think a healthy O'Malley does have a very good chance of beating Merab, and I wouldn't put money on it. Trust me, I wouldn't put money on it. But there's just... when you have that feeling about a fight, I have that about O'Malley and Merab. And even though Merab did win against Umar, and in moments he looked extremely dominant against Umar, with the body language just towering over him, it was a very competitive fight. And I think O'Malley's a much, much, much more technical striker than Umar. And I think in this fight he'll be a little more confident letting his hands go, as he is confident that he can defend the takedowns in this scenario, but I would still favour Merab to win by decision. As what's next for the rest of the division, we have Sandhagen versus Figueiredo in May, and then we have Petr Yan versus Umar Nurmagomedov in July. I think the winner of Sandhagen versus Figueiredo should fight the loser of O'Malley Merab. If that's O'Malley losing, we could get, O'Malley versus Sandhagen most likely. But even a Merab versus Figueiredo would be very interesting, or even a O'Malley versus Figueroa. There's a lot of interesting matchups that could come from that. And obviously, we have Marlon Vera on the 316 card as well versus Mario Batista. The winner of that is going to be in a decent position. If it's Vera, less so because he has lost to everyone except Merab, but I do not see him beating Merab or even making it close. But there's some interesting things going on at Bantamweight right now, and we've got some contenders that need to be built up. So I'm very excited for these matchups and just how the future unfolds for the division. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to discuss that major announcement. I know we announced Pennington versus, or Pena versus Harrison, and Carlos Prates versus Ian Gary, but I really just wanted to talk about O'Malley's title shot and sort of just wanted to break down the fight a little bit. But anyway, guys, see ya.